Am I audible, students? Is the screen visible? Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. We had stopped at the cylindrical coordinate system. We know that the cylindrical coordinate system has the three coordinates, right? Which are the three coordinates of the cylindrical coordinate system? R, phi, and Z. R, phi, and Z are the three coordinates of the cylindrical coordinate system. And this cylindrical coordinate system is defined by a plane of constant Z, which is parallel to the xy plane. If you look into this figure, the plane that is parallel to xy plane, that is here, this plane, what you are seeing here, the dashed mark. Okay, so this plane, it is the plane of constant Z which is parallel to xy plane. Okay, constant Z means it will come here, constant Z plane. I'll show that next, which is parallel to the xy plane. Okay, it is a plane which is along the Z axis and which is parallel to the xy plane. Okay, that is one. Then another one is a cylinder of radius r with Z axis as the axis of the cylinder. This is a cylinder which is having the radius r. The radius of the cylinder is r and its axis is the Z axis. Its axis is the Z axis. Okay, so it is also defined by a cylinder of radius r along the Z axis. Then a half plane perpendicular to xy plane at an angle phi with respect to xz plane. A half plane which is making an angle phi with xz plane. So this is the half plane what you are seeing here. So this dashed line here along this, then come down here, then this here to the origin, then back to the same point, original point. Okay, so this is called as the half plane. These x to y, it is xy plane, y to z, it is yz plane, and x to z, it is xz plane. I told you all that you have to imagine or you have to consider the corners of a room. Corners of a room. Okay, we consider the three corners of a room. One corner, one side you take it as x, another one you take it as y, and another, the perpendicular one, you take it as z axis. Okay, so between x to y, whatever the plane is there, that is called as the xy plane. Between y to z, this is your y. Okay, x, y, and z, it is like this. X is here, your y is here, okay, and z is here, like this. There are the three corners of the room. So between x to y, it is xy plane. Okay, between y to z, it is yz plane. And between z to x, between z to x, it is xz plane or zx plane. These are the three planes. Now this plane is placed such a way that it is making an angle, some angle with the xy plane. It is not the actual plane. The actual planes are xy, yz, and xz. These are the actual planes. But this plane, okay, it is making certain angle with the xz plane. You can see here, this is the plane. Just I showed you all. This is the plane here. This one, arrow marks here. Then come to the original point. So this is making an angle phi with the xz plane. This makes an angle phi with the this plane xz plane. Okay, it is not the actual plane, and hence as it is placed in between or in between the xy plane, it is called as the half angle. Okay, that is why the name given to this is the half plane perpendicular to xy plane, which makes an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. So this angle phi is called as the azimuthal angle. Now what are the ranges of the variables? R varies from 0 to infinity. This is the radius r. It can vary from the 0 till the infinity. It can go anywhere till the infinity. Then the angle phi, it varies between how much to how much? 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi. Okay, this is the angle phi. It can be 0 to 2 pi. The complete say rotation, 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 360 degrees. Then last one is the z axis. What can be the z axis, students? Z axis can be between minus infinity to plus infinity, because z, this is the positive z axis. Okay, it is 0 to infinity. If we take along the minus axis also, sorry, minus the opposite direction also, it will be 0 to minus infinity, that is minus z. So it will be from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so I had explained here about the cylindrical coordinate system. Then next comes the different planes. This is the point which we considered r1 comma phi1 comma z1, which is nothing but which is having a radius r1, then the angle phi1, and the z axis, that is z1, r1 phi1 and z1. That is the coordinate p of r1 comma phi1 comma z1. Okay, in the cylindrical coordinate system. In the various planes, this is r equal to constant plane, as I explained. R equal to constant. Okay, this is a cylinder. This is the cylinder here. R equal to constant plane. The radius is constant. This is called as the R equal to constant plane. Then next one is phi equal to constant. The angle phi. This is constant. Once we place this here, this plane in between x to y plane, it is fixed. The angle phi will be fixed. So it is phi equal to constant plane. And last one is z equal to constant plane. This is z. Okay, this is a z axis here, and this plane is placed along the z axis, that is parallel to the xy plane. Okay, if you consider the corners of a room xy plane, and if you are placing the plane along the z axis, right, the plane, if you have placed that, the plane z equal to constant plane will be parallel to the xy plane. It will be parallel to the floor. So floor is your xy plane. Okay, the opposite wall is your yz plane, and the side wall, adjacent wall, is your, the floor is your xy plane, the opposite wall is your yz plane, and the side wall, it is xz plane. Okay, so this plane is z equal to constant plane, which is placed parallel to the xy plane. These are the three planes. Then next is point of intersection of all these three surfaces. What will be the point of intersection, or what will be the point of intersection between two planes? Here, if we look in, this is a cylinder. We try to visualize here. Now I want to find the intersection of r equal to constant and z equal to constant. I have written here, intersection of r equal to constant and z equal to constant is a circle. How it is a circle? Now consider a cylinder. Consider a cylinder structure. Okay. Now consider a cardboard, a rectangular cardboard or a parallelogram cardboard. Okay. You are moving the cardboard. From upward. Okay. Or you can consider a piece of paper. Okay. What you will be doing? You have just played with the paper and the cardboard sometimes, or while making some items and all, you have made this experiment. So you might have placed that paper on the cylinder structure. So when you place it and when you pull it down, what will happen? It will be a form of this circle. Trying to visualize here. There is a cylinder. Cylinder structure. Okay, you are placing a piece of paper, rectangular paper. Okay, rectangular paper on the cylinder, and you are pulling it down. Okay, so when you pull it down, what will happen? That portion will be teared off, and you will get a circular portion there. The above portion on the paper will be a circular portion. It will come down a little bit down to the cylinder, some portion down below the cylinder. Okay, so this is how we are getting a circle when there is an intersection of r equal to constant and z equal to constant. Whenever there is a intersection of r equal to constant, radius is constant, and z equal to constant, this is a z equal to constant plane, this is r equal to constant. So when there is an intersection of these two, it will be a circle. Okay, so the intersection of r equal to constant, z equal to constant is a circle. What we are getting here, I have shown with the dashed marks. Okay, dashed marks here. Next, intersection of r equal to constant and phi equal to constant. Intersection of r equal to constant. So this is r equal to constant. Okay, and phi equal to constant. What is phi? How we are getting the phi? Angle phi. So this is the structure here, which we have placed at an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. This is x, this is y, this is z. I have placed this plane with an angle, certain angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Correct. Now, when there is an intersection of this the plane, this plane which is placed at an angle with respect to xz plane, and the r equal to constant, so you are placing here this structure, okay, at an angle, certain angle with respect to the phi, as in a certain angle here, okay. So it is like this. From your end it is like this. You are placing it at an angle, okay, angle phi. So when you place it at an angle phi, okay, then what is happening here? So this portion and the r equal to constant are intersecting, and it is giving what? A line. It is giving a straight line, because this is our plane, and this is the radius. So when it intersects, it is giving a common line between the r equal to constant and phi equal to constant. This is phi equal to constant here. It's making certain angle, and then the intersection of this phi equal to constant and r equal to constant will be along a line. It will be along a line. That is how we are getting a straight line when there is an intersection between r equal to constant and phi equal to constant. Then next, what happens if there is intersection between all the three planes? That is, if there is an intersection between r equal to constant, phi equal to constant, and z equal to constant. This is r equal to constant. We have found out that r equal to constant and z equal to constant intersection is a circle. Then intersection of r equal to constant and phi equal to constant is a straight line. Now the intersection of this circle and the straight line is what? Intersection of the circle and the straight line is a point. It is a single point, because this is our circle, the dashed marks what I have shown here, the circle what is formed, and that when it intersects with the straight line, correct. So there is a circle, when the straight line intersects with the circle, when the curve, when the circle intersects with the straight line, what it is giving? It is giving a point. It is giving a point, is it not? So that is a point P of r comma phi comma z, which is formed due to the intersection of r equal to constant, phi equal to constant, and z equal to constant. I hope you followed this, students, how we are getting these different that is a circle, a straight line, and a point whenever there is an intersection between the planes. This is visualized. This you all understood here, students? Yes, please, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any difficulty up till here? Followed, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. We'll move on to base vectors or unit vectors. This we have already studied in the previous when we dealt with the Cartesian coordinate system. Which are the coordinates of the Cartesian coordinate system? X, Y, and Z. Is it not? X, Y, and Z. Now the base vectors are the unit vectors for the cylindrical coordinate system, which are the base vectors or the unit vectors. So these unit vectors are R, phi, and Z. R, phi, and Z, which are mutually perpendicular to each other. There are three unit vectors. One is R, phi, and Z directions denoted as AR bar, A phi bar, and AZ bar, which are mutually perpendicular to each other. These are shown in the next figure here. As you can see, this is AR bar. We can see here, this is AR bar, right? And this is AR bar. It is acting radially. It is along the radius. It is acting radially, but it is perpendicular to the cylinder. It is perpendicular to the cylinder, and it is radially outwards. Radially outwards. Okay, this is a cylinder. We have already got this point P. Right? Just now we have got this point P. P of r comma P of r comma phi comma z. Correct. So this is our point P. If we take the unit vectors, one along the radius and one along the angle phi, whatever we are getting here along that, and one along the z direction. These are the three unit vectors which are mutually perpendicular to each other. So what are these unit vectors? One is AR bar, which is along the radius and which is radially outwards direction, and it is perpendicular to this cylinder. Then next one is A5 bar. A5 bar. So how this A5 bar is shown? This is angle phi. Angle phi. So we are getting here is A5 bar. Okay, A5 bar at an angle phi. So this A5 bar is along the increasing angle phi. It is along the increasing angle phi here, right? But it is at the tangent to the cylinder. It is a tangent. It is touching the curve surface of the cylinder. Okay, along the tangent. Then next is AZ bar. AZ bar. AZ bar, it is very much clear. It is parallel to the Z axis. It is parallel to the Z axis, and it is along the increasing Z direction. It is along the increasing Z direction. That is AZ bar. So we are having three unit vectors. One is AR bar, another one is A5 bar, and another one is AZ bar, which are at an angle 90 degree with respect to each other. The same figure, this is the same figure that we have considered previously. The same the plane, what a half angle plane, what is formed. Okay, XYZ, everything is same. The point P which is formed, which is a coordinate R comma phi comma Z. Okay, everything is same, right? These are mutually perpendicular to each other. The AR bar lies in a plane parallel to the XY plane and is perpendicular to the surface of the cylinder at given point coming radially outward. That's what I told. AR bar is along the increasing R, and it is radially outward but perpendicular to the cylinder. A5 bar is also in a plane parallel to the XY plane. So A5 bar, this one is parallel to the XY plane. It is along the increasing angle phi, correct? But this is a tangent to the surface. Is a tangent to the surface. The unit vector AZ bar is parallel to Z axis and directed towards increasing Z. Hence, vector of point P can be represented as. How can you write a vector, students, here? Now, if I give you a point P of R comma phi comma Z, how can you write a vector? Vector representation. Now, if you got the point, say x1, y1, z1, correct? In Cartesian, how you wrote there? x1 ax bar plus y1 ay bar plus z1 az bar. Is it not? So similarly here you got the coordinates of the cylindrical coordinate system as r comma phi comma z. Now if I want to represent that in a vector form, how can I represent that? Yes, vector of point P. How can you represent that?
Sir,
You already,
AR bar,
yes,
A
yes.
bar and AZ bar.
Okay,
AR
fine.
bar, A5 bar, no, sir.
Fine, you're right. But you should not leave the magnitude. Magnitude is, say, P is equal to, vector P is equal to PR AR bar. Okay, PR is the magnitude. Its direction is given by the unit vector AR bar plus P phi A phi bar. P phi is the magnitude angle and A phi bar is the unit vector which is giving the direction plus PZ AZ bar. Simple. Okay, that's what I have written here. P vector P is given by PR AR bar plus P phi A phi bar plus PZ AZ bar. So what are these PR, P phi and PZ? PR is the radius, it's the magnitude. P phi is also the magnitude, it is angle phi, and PZ is also the magnitude, it is the Z coordinate of the point P. Okay, let us take this as equation 1. Next, differential elements in cylindrical coordinate system. We have dealt the differential elements in Cartesian coordinate system, is it not? First we got the xyz axis, then we increased it x to x plus dx, y to y plus dy, and z to z plus dz, correct? Similarly here, if we increase r, phi and z by certain incremental values, then what will be the shape that we are going to get and how we are going to analyze that? Okay, that we are going to see here. Consider a point P of r comma phi comma z in a cylindrical coordinate system. This is our point here. This is our original point P of r comma phi comma z. Okay, now we are increasing this point P, okay, r by r plus dr, right? And phi by phi plus d phi, and z by z plus dz. So each coordinate is increased by certain amount. The differential amounts that it is increased, that is r, phi and z, are dr, d phi and dz. Now how it is increased here, if we look into this figure, so this is r, this is our radius r, so it is r here. Okay, so that is r is increased by, this is radius r, what you are seeing. So this is the increased amount, that is dr. So total it will be r plus dr, r plus dr. This is our r, what you are seeing here. Okay, the arrowed mark here, r, it is given as r here. Now if I increase this by dr, so it will be r plus dr, r plus dr, correct? Then we are having the angle phi, angle phi. Okay, the angle of the half plane. Now if I increase that phi by d phi, then what I will get, phi plus d phi. This is the original phi. I am increasing by small amount d phi, hence I will get phi plus d phi, phi plus d phi. Then I am having z. This is our z, original z. Okay, I am increasing z by certain amount, say dz, by dz. Therefore, what I will get, z plus dz. This is z, and this is small amount is dz, so it will be z plus dz. Okay, that's what we are calling them as the differential elements. There are two cylinders, one with the radius r and another with the radius r plus dr. We are analyzing the cylindrical coordinate system. Here we are getting one cylinder of the radius r, another cylinder with the radius r plus dr. Then there are two planes, half planes, one with an angle phi, another with an angle phi plus d phi, phi plus d phi. Then there are two horizontal planes, one at the height z, another one at the height z plus dz. Correct? The same thing that we just now explained. Right? Now the intersection of these, all these three, or the plane which is formed, the surface which is formed with the enclosure of all these three, that is the two cylinders, two planes, two half planes, and two horizontal planes. When these come together, then it is forming all together, all these three forms a closed surface, or it is forming a surface enclosing a small volume as shown in this figure. This is the volume that is formed with the r plus dr, r and r plus dr, and z plus dz, and phi plus d phi. So r and r plus dr, they are the two cylinders, one with radius r, another one is r plus dr. Then two half planes, one is with a phi and another with the phi plus d phi. Then the third one is a z equal to constant plane, one is at z, another one is at z plus dz. When these three come together, they are forming this shape. This is a shape that is formed. Okay. Now here this shape, whatever it is formed here, this incremental length is dr here. Okay, here in the r direction, then in the z direction, towards the, it is dz. But what about in the phi direction? So phi direction, we cannot call it as an incremental length d phi. It is not the length. Okay, we want the length, right? Now if we want the length, then how to find the length? For this we have to take the help from the geometry. Right? Now this is the radius r, this is the radius r. Okay, this is the angle phi, d phi. Now this, we want this here. How I can find this? This is the radius r, and this is the angle phi that is making with the curve here. If I multiply the radius r with this angle d phi, that will give me the arc length. This you have studied in your theorems in your geometry, maybe in your 10th standard or in your PUC level, you have studied this. Okay, so it is r into d phi that gives this arc length, that is r into d phi. Okay, hope you are following here, students. Yes, students, are you following here? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so r, fine. So r into d phi, that gives the arc length. So this arc length is r into d phi. Okay, radius r multiplied by the angle, that gives the arc length r into d phi. Remember this. Okay. The differential lengths in r and z directions are dr and dz. No problem. In phi direction, d phi is a change in angle phi, and it is not the differential length. D phi is change in the angle phi, but it is not the differential length. We want differential length, and hence due to this change d phi, there will be a differential arc length which is formed, and this differential length or the arc length, it is given by the product of the radius and the angle d phi, which is subtended by that radius r. Okay, that is r into d phi, and hence the differential lengths are dr is a differential length in r direction, take it as equation 1. R into d phi is differential length in phi direction, second equation. Dz is the differential length in z direction. Hence, the differential vector length in cylindrical coordinate system is given by, if you want the differential vector length or the magnitude. Okay, magnitude we are finding next. First, we'll write the vector here. Differential vector length is given by dl bar is equal to dr into ar bar plus r d phi. Note that here you have to be a little bit careful. You should not simply write it as d phi into a phi bar. It is plus r d phi a phi bar, because the differential length is r into d phi. Okay, that is the radius r multiplied by the angle, r d phi a phi bar plus dz az bar, dz az bar. Okay, if we want to find the magnitude, then the magnitude of this vector length is given by magnitude dl bar is equal to square root of dr square plus r into d phi the square plus dz square. Okay, so this is the magnitude of the differential length vector. Next, if you want to find the differential volume, we have one as the, what is our one differential length dr, another one is r d phi, then one is dz. So what is the differential volume formed, students? Length into breadth into height, differential volume. How do you find out that? We have three sides, right? So when you multiply by the different length into breadth into height, that will give us the differential volume, correct? Yes or no? So what we are getting here, students? Differential volume. Can anybody tell me? Differential volume. What we are getting here? Yes, please. Differential volume. One is dr, another one is r d phi, another one is dz. What will be the differential volume? Yes. What will be the differential volume?
Sir, dr into dz into rd pi.
Very good. So it is dr. So this is dr here, into r d phi into dz. Simple. Okay. So dv is given by r into dr into d phi into dz. I have rearranged the terms. That's all. dv is equal to r into dr into d phi into dz. Right. Next, the differential surface areas in the three directions. This is our differential volume. Next is differential surface areas in the three directions. So this is as shown in this next figure. Our x, y, and z. This is our dz. This is our r d phi, the arc length. Now, if we take the unit vector along the other direction, mutually perpendicular direction, it is ar bar and dz. This is angle phi, r d phi. The mutually perpendicular direction unit vector is ar bar, and hence the surface area that we are getting here is ds r bar. That is, the magnitude will be along the unit vector only, correct? Magnitude and unit vector we are getting simultaneously, correct? So the area of this, what will be the area of this, students? It is dz into r d phi. Don't forget the unit vector into ar bar. The surface area of this surface ds r bar is equal to dz into r d phi into ar bar. Similarly, when we consider here, this is our dz, this is our dz, z axis, then this is our radius r dr, then the other direction, mutually perpendicular direction, will be a phi bar, correct? And hence the area of this surface is the multiply the sides dr into dz, don't forget the unit vector, into a phi bar. That will give us ds phi bar. Okay, because whatever magnitude we are getting, that is nothing but with respect to the unit vector. Okay, if it is a unit vector, that unit vector gives the direction of that magnitude, or if there is a magnitude, that magnitude unit direction is given by the unit vector a phi bar, correct? And hence we are getting the magnitude here, the area is ds phi bar. Then this is the side dr, this is r d phi, then the other mutually perpendicular direction will be az bar, correct? And hence the surface area of this surface is given by the sides multiplied, that is dr into r d phi multiplied by the unit vector, that is into az bar. That gives ds z bar, fine. The vector representation of these surfaces are like this. dsr bar is differential vector surface normal to r direction, is r d phi dz ar bar. That's what we just now explained there. ds phi bar is differential vector surface area normal to phi direction. It is a dr dz a phi bar, and ds z bar is differential vector surface normal to z direction. It is dr r d phi az bar. It is r dr d phi az bar. Next, we will move on to relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical systems. How to find the relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical systems? Consider a point P of x comma y comma z in the Cartesian system, and also consider a point P of r comma phi comma z in the cylindrical system. Okay, so this is our point x, y, and z. Just we are considering 2 points. One point is the point P of x comma y comma z in Cartesian system. Another point P of r comma phi comma z in the cylindrical system. Now, why I have shown these two parallel? Okay, because their z axis remains the same. There is no change in the z direction, is it not? When you are considering the Cartesian system, it is z only. When you are considering the cylindrical system, it is also z only. Both are same. Okay, there is no change in the z direction. There is no change in the z direction. So I have shown them parallel. Okay, both the points, one is P of x comma y comma z, another one is P of r comma phi comma z. Okay. Now here, these are the x and y axis, x and y axis. Okay, this is our radius r. This is our radius r. Okay, radius r of the cylindrical system. Now this radius r, it is bisecting this parallelogram. Is it not a parallelogram, students? This is a parallelogram, is it not? This O to x, then x to this, then here to y, and y to O. This is forming a parallelogram. Now this diagonal O to OR, or the R here, whatever is radius, that is bisecting this parallelogram. It is bisecting here. Now what is the meaning of bisecting? Meaning of bisecting is, and we know that the three x, y, and z, x, y, and z, they are mutually perpendicular. They are at 90 degrees with respect to, sorry. They are you able to listen me, students?
Yes, sir.
What is, okay, fine. So here they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now x to y is 90 degree. When this radius r bisects this x to y, what we are getting here, 45 degree, and this will be 45 degree. Correct? Try to understand here. This radius r is bisecting. It is bisecting. So this will be 45 degrees. This will be 45 degrees, and this will be 45 degrees, because the angle between x to y is 90 degrees. Correct? Now this is 45 degrees, means this is 45 degrees, means this and this are alternate angles. Correct? This and this are alternate angles. So this is 45 degree, means this will also be 45 degrees, because they are alternate angles. Alternate angles. Now this is 45 degree, this is 45 degree. So what will be the other angles, friends? 90 degree, because all the three angles what we are getting from the surface, their total angle is 180 degrees. So this is 45, this is 45, 45 plus 45 is 90, 90 plus, so this will be remaining angle 180 minus 90, this will be 90 degrees. Correct? Now we got this as perpendicular, that is 90 degrees. Now if this is 90 degrees, so the surface is like this. This is our 90 degrees, which is formed like this, and this is our hypotenuse. Okay, and this is our surface here. Okay, and this is our surface here, like this. Okay, so we are getting the right angled triangle. Right angled triangle. Now once we get the right angled triangle, this is our adjacent side x. Now I am finding this angle phi. This is our angle phi, the half plane. The half plane angle formed is phi. Now I have to find the coordinates of this. Okay, that is the sides, right? Now this is our angle phi, the 45 degrees, which is formed between this OX and this OR, or this radius vector, radius R. That is the angle phi. So this angle phi. Now if I want to find the sine of phi, okay, this is our adjacent side, this is the opposite side, and this will form the hypotenuse. It's just a right angle triangle. Try to visualize here. This is adjacent side, this is our hypotenuse, and this is our opposite side. Okay, now here it is angle phi. I will find first sine phi and then cosine phi. So sine phi is given by sine phi. If you look here, sine phi is given by, what will be sine phi, students? Can you tell me? Sine phi, opposite side is this y, this is y here, so this will also be y. Okay, this is, both are parallel, this is y, this will also be y. So opposite side is y. Okay, hypotenuse is r. it will be y by r. So sine phi is opposite side by hypotenuse. It is y divided by r. Correct? So we are getting sine phi is equal to y by r, or y is equal to r sine phi. Y is equal to r sine phi. Then next, cosine of phi. Cosine of phi. Cosine of phi is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is x, hypotenuse is r. Cos phi is equal to x by r. X by r. That is, cos phi is x by r, or x is equal to r cos phi. Okay. Therefore, the transformation from cylindrical to Cartesian system can be obtained from the equations. One is x equal to r cos phi. So the RHS what you are seeing, they are the cylindrical system, r, phi and z, the RHS. And what you are seeing on the LHS, it is Cartesian. X is equal to r cos phi, y is equal to r sin phi, and z equal to z. Okay. So like this, we are converting from what to what? RHS is the cylindrical, LHS is the Cartesian. We are converting from cylindrical to Cartesian. Similarly, we can convert from Cartesian to cylindrical. This is conversion from cylindrical to Cartesian. Next, we can convert from Cartesian to cylindrical. It is very simple. So what I will do is x equal to r cos phi. I will take x square, that is r square cos square phi. Then y square, that is r square sin square phi. Then I will add them. X square plus y square is equal to r square cos square phi plus r square sin square phi. Your mathematics. So what we will get there, students? R is equal to, you will get square root of x square plus y square. Very simple. X square is equal to r square cos square phi. Y square is equal to r square sin square phi. Then add them. X square plus y square. It will be r square cos square phi plus r square sin square phi. Then take r square common. R square into cos square phi plus sin square phi. Cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So it will be simply x square plus y square is equal to r square, or r is equal to square root of x square plus y square. R is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Next, how to find the angle? One divided by another. Y is equal to r sin phi divided by x equal to r cos phi. So it will be sin phi divided by cos phi is tan phi. R and r will cancel. Tan phi will be y by x. Simple. Tan phi is equal to y by x. Okay. So how we are converting from Cartesian to cylindrical? RHS is x, y, and z Cartesian. LHS is our r, phi, and z, that is cylindrical. That is, r is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Okay, r is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Then another equation is phi is equal to, or tan phi is equal to y by x, or phi is equal to tan inverse of y by x, and z is equal to z. That will remain the same. This is a transformation from Cartesian to cylindrical. Okay. Hope you have followed here, students. Any doubts here, students? So what we discussed in today's class, here we have covered the cylindrical coordinate system, the intersection of the three planes, r equal to constant, phi equal to constant, z equal to constant plane, base vectors or unit vectors. Okay, ar bar, a phi bar, and az bar. Okay, how they are mutually perpendicular to each other, and we wrote the vector p bar, that is pr a bar plus p phi a phi bar plus pz az bar. Then differential elements in cylindrical system, when we increase them from r to r plus dr, and from phi to phi plus d phi, and z from z plus z, and z from z to z plus dz, this is a surface that is formed. Arc length is given by r into d phi, and hence we are having the dl bar, differential vector length, given by dr ar bar plus r d phi a phi bar plus dz az bar, and the magnitude is given by dl bar is equal to square root of dr square plus r d phi square plus dz square. Volume is simple, dv is equal to r into dr into d phi into dz. Then we analyze the areas of the three surfaces, differential elements that is formed in the cylindrical coordinate system, and we have got the three areas, we have written them. Okay. Then relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical systems. Relationship between Cartesian system and cylindrical system. What are the relation in terms of equation? Relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical. How to convert from cylindrical to Cartesian? What are the equations? Okay, so these are the equations. Cylindrical to Cartesian: x equal to r cos phi, y is equal to r sin phi, and z equal to z. Then from Cartesian to cylindrical, that is r equal to square root of x square plus y square, phi is equal to tan inverse y by x, and z equal to z. Okay. Hope you have followed here, students. Here you have followed here. Any questions here, students, in today's class? Any questions here? I'll be sending the material, please go through. Okay. Any difficulty, students? Students, any
No,
difference?
sir.
Everyone followed here? Mohammed,
Yes, sir.
good. Mohammed,
Yes, sir. Follow. Yes,
any
sir.
problem in understanding?
No, sir.
Okay. Prathamesh, Prathamesh, Kinekar, Adarsh, Adarsh.
No, sir.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sania, followed here. Sania.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything not understood? Kirti, 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 understood? Okay, fine. Then we'll continue in the next class. Right? Thank you.